Welcome to your daily focus for October the 19th, 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we begin, thank you. Thank you truly for all of the support, all of the loving, positive, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Thank you truly. Now let's see what the energy is going to be for us today. Ten of Swords. Wow, are we struggling here? Well, let's see what else comes out with that. Page of Cups, offering new beginnings. The Six of Swords is back. Let's take an angel card to go with that. Now I'm thinking of, Mars. Mars getting ready to cross over Pluto, which will be happening. We should definitely be feeling the energy of that. And I discussed it, I think, a little bit at length in the weekly reading. But we'll touch base on that again. But there's something that's offering us new paths, new opportunities, new horizons. And we can see the way forward. "28 misfortune. 8 plus 2 is 10. 1, the I am. Making decisions. You may be called upon to make a decision today where you really can't rely on anybody else's input. It has to be yours and yours alone with the 10. And that's the first, there's so much with the 10 and with the 1 energy, but that's what I kind of got first. But we're going to be pulled into decisions. Now here we are, the 10 of Swords. And we have our eyes closed. We feel like we are trapped. We feel like we can't go forward. And yet the next 2 cards say we open our eyes. The next 2 cards say we see out of where we can go out of the turmoil. Right? Because we have 2 cards here. The Page of Cups, very positive card, offering us this cup. And how do we want it filled? Our true passions, our dreams, our desires, our goals. And the page is a new energy, a young energy. And then we have the Six of Swords back. Okay, so there's those swords that we thought actually penned us in, limited us in some way. And here they are again. And they're all around us, but now we know that we can see them. Now we know that we can avoid them. Now we know the path forward. So it's very much about seeing our path forward today. It's very much about understanding our limitations, understanding, this could be where we so Mars crosses over Pluto approximately once every 2.5 years. And right now they're sitting in Capricorn, which is our careers, our goals, our dreams, our desires, our ideas, our global awareness. It's the slow and steady path, Capricorn. The diligence, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, making sure every step is completed. It's the due diligence. It's knowing what we have to do. It's going through, it's the long route. It's no shortcuts. But when Mars crosses over Pluto, that's a takes no prisoners kind of energy. That's where we have to go forward. We have to break free. We have to move forward in some way. And that could mean that we have to tear something completely down in our lives to rebuild it the way we need it structured. This could be where we have to move forward in a certain direction, or we have to leave certain things behind in order to move forward. This is where we're making strong decisions, and we need to be careful with this energy. We need to be very careful with this energy because it's strong and it's empowering. And so, one, it could lead us to exhaustion because we want to take it all on. We want to do it now. We feel that determination. So I think this is more of, we may be coming into the day with this type of energy, but I don't think many of us will leave with this type of energy, or at least our eyes will be open. We will see the new path forward. We will understand exactly how we want that cup filled in our life. And then we see the path forward. And we know that those swords can't hurt us. We understand. We have a clarity. But I get a strong sense of spirit here. Now there is, if you can see in the back of the boat, another image behind that light. And so, I think because it's shrouded by the light, that it represents our angels, our spirit guides, God, standing behind us, making sure we're going the right path, making sure we're safe. And so we have to lean on that energy. We have to lean on that intuition. Because I'm kind of seeing the moon card flash in my mind. So it needs to be true to you. It needs to reflect your motives for going forward. This is a time for your wants, your needs, your desires. This is a time for you to take an action plan forward in your plans, in your words, in your actions. But this too, I mean, this is strong energy, so we may, no won't be something that we will take lightly. So I think the misfortune here is not being the diplomat through it all, because slowly the energy is all dissipating in Libra and moving onwards. But we do have Jupiter there, we do have Mercury there. So we have to be the diplomat. We have to understand what we are truly saying yes to and what we are truly saying no to. We have to weigh things out. We can't overreact or move into something and push into the energy, even if everything's resisting. Or are we going forward because of a fear or an anger or a resentment? What is our motivation behind the action, the words? Are they meant to hurt? Are they meant to maim? Are they meant to raise you up? Set you on a new path? Because this is very much a time when misfortune could come in, because we'll ruffle feathers, we'll step on toes, we'll burn bridges when we don't remain the diplomat. And we don't really have a diplomat here. We have the Page of Cups. One day he will be the diplomat, but he is not a diplomat. So I don't think we have a lot of that diplomatic energy supporting us today. And so we have to consciously be aware of our words and our actions, so that, yes, we are breaking free of the bonds. We do open our eyes. We do see that we are not tied down. We do see that those swords are behind us, and we can go forward. The fog is behind us. We can go forward. And bringing in that clarity and bringing in that understanding. So be the diplomat today. And if it means taking a step back and going into meditation or prayer, or just a couple of deep breaths, or counting to 10 before you act, before you speak, it might save the day, because you find a different way of doing the action or saying the words, so that people buy into it, that people help you, are motivated to help you to move forward in the direction you want, towards the goals that you want. Let's see what our angels are, not our angels, but well, let's see what our angels have to say, since I said angels. Never argue. Never argue with your spirit guides. Never argue with your angels. And that's hard. Okay, a lot of times we hear them whisper in our ear exactly what we're supposed to do, and we go, oh no. Yeah, I'm going to go for option B. So what's option B? And there really isn't an option B, but then our ego takes over and says, well, we could still do this, and it'll all work out. And then at the end of the day, we go, it didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? Because we didn't listen. and have a faith that it was guiding us in the right direction. And usually it's the thing that we don't want to hear that is whispered in our ear. So it's easy to block it out. It's easy to change the subject in our minds. It's easy to ignore that one little thought and go to other thoughts that seem safer. We have the Seven of Michael. There is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer, and review all the details. Yes, review all the details. We want to think things through. We want to read those contracts before we sign them. We want to understand what we're truly saying yes to, that we understand what the other person has told us, or the situation. We want to understand the situation. Remember, the moon is in Gemini, and that makes us curious. That makes us want to ask the questions. Okay, then it moves into Cancer, and it's going to be more of wanting a peace, wanting a quiet, and moving towards peace, moving towards love, security, contentment in our lives. So with the moon in Gemini, that kind of gives us that curious, and we need to ask the questions. We need to understand exactly what we want going forward and what people are trying to tell us and what we are trying to tell them, and form it. We have the Five of Michaels. The situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. So you can't be negative right now. You have to be positive. You have to be full of faith that you are going in the right direction. The situation doesn't serve you, and I think this is energy where we can tear down something, but it's through our own thoughts that we need to do this going forward. And maybe it's making a bigger commitment in our life to something. Maybe it's standing up and saying, I'm going to do this. Maybe it's removing a commitment from one area of your life and placing it to another area of your life. But something is not serving you. Something is not allowing you to move forward. Something's blocking. That's very apparent with the first card, that there's something blocking, and we need to open up our eyes, and we need to take a realistic look at what is around us, what we can work with, and how we can move forward. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. So often we think, well, we got to get to point B. And so we don't see the detours along the way that are actually going to help us get there. We see that as taking us off course. So understand all the opportunities in front of you. And we have the Three of Michael. Wow, 7, 5, and 3 of Michael. Release the past. You will grow from the situation. Time heals all wounds. Yes, this too shall pass. So Archangel Michael is strong and dominant today in your life. So lean on Archangel Michael. He will go in battle for you. He will defend you. He will protect you. He will keep you safe. Now let's go to our animals, our higher intuition. So, and all the cards tell us to release the past, to step away from things that don't serve us anymore, that there is something better awaiting us, and we need to walk into it. We need to see it. We need to understand it. And I think we will get that determination to go forward in it, especially if it's career, especially if it's achievement in your life in some area, success in your life in some area. Or maybe it's more of a global awareness for you. Call on your angels. So we have Archangel Michael there, strong in our reading, and then we have call on your angels. So we know which angel that we really need to call to. But and we just had this one, so this is coming up again. The angel fish. Call upon your angels. An angel can illuminate the thoughts and mind of man by strengthening the power of vision and by bringing within his reach some truth which the angel himself contemplates. So the angel is transferring their thoughts to you to show you the way forward. So relax and breathe. and know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And you will be exactly where you need to be. So you just need a faith to go with the flow. Okay? Fish, they go with the flow. Awakened visions, dreams, clairaudience, and water. Angel fish reassures you that angels are around you all the time and they have been trying to get through to you to offer love, healing, and guidance for you. You may not see the angels as you believe they ought to look. They can come in the form of a human stranger or an animal. It will be a positive and enlightening experience that may add more questions, but in time the answers will appear. Your dreams may be extra prophetic and intense with messages, or you may have been hearing messages as if you've been thinking to yourself. You may also be hearing a message through music or song that has a deeper meaning, or by having vivid visions. These messages are to help awaken you and not scare you. Your angels ask that you call on them to assist with your life pressures. You don't need to know their names, only request their assistance and be specific in your request so that they can immediately go to work on your behalf. Angel Fish says that you are being too stubborn and attempting to go against the flow instead of with the current. It may be a time for you to take a trip to a location where there is plenty of water, where you can sink your toes into the sand and stare into the depths of the water. And you know, that kind of caught me there. Angel Fish says that you are being too stubborn and attempting to go against the flow. Okay, so you really have to analyze your intentions behind your actions, your intentions behind your words, to make sure that they are good, to make sure that they are pure, that they are actually motivators to move you in the right direction, and you're not doing it out of a spite or a hatred or an envy, but you're doing it because it brings you passion, it brings you happiness, it brings you joy. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.